Kitty cat, are you waking up? I don't know if I read this or not. Spring's baby, yep. To my cat-loving niece, Leslie. To the many kitty cats that have napped on my lap. Oh, I just want to let you know that Gallant has turned into a big separation anxiety. He will yell when he doesn't see me, and if I sit down anywhere, he has to come up and sit on my lap. When I go to sleep, he's got to sleep between my legs. Today I had to work and I forgot to close my office door, and he was right there on the computer sleeping away.
Sounds like he's been taking lessons from Sea Guy.
Yeah. I wonder if it's an orange thing.
Orange thing.
Yeah, but he
loves you.
he's something else, and you know and then every now and then he gets this "I'm the boss" thing where he has to, when he goes up on my computer, he basically moves everybody aside.
It's Gallant time.
Yeah.
That sounds like that boy.
Yep. That was him today. Alrighty, so here's the picture. Kitty cat, are you waking up? Not yet, mother. I'm a sleepy buttercup. Kitty cat, are you out of bed? Not yet, mother. I'm standing on my head. I might have read this one before. I wasn't sure. But that's okay. We do have reruns sometimes. Kitty cat, have you cleaned your fur? Not yet, mother. I'm practicing my purr. Kitty cat, what are you going to wear? Just a second, mother. I'm looking everywhere. Kitty cat, where'd you put your socks? Just a second, mother. They're over by my blocks. Kitty cat, have you found your shoes? Just a second, mother. There's easy things to lose. Somebody is chirping. Kitty cat, do you want some fish? Just a second, mother. I'm playing with my dish. Yes, it does. It is kind of like a poem. Kitty cat, hurry up and eat. Just a second, mother. A mouse is on my seat. Kitty cat, you'll be very late. Oh, thank you. You know, I don't think I've ever solved Despicable Me. Kitty cat, you'll be very late. Just a second, mother. School will have to wait. Kitty cat, now we have to go. Okay, mother, I'm sorry I'm so slow. And it looks like it's the end of the book, and you can see the kitty cat is going to school. Coming soon in hardcover. Kitty cat, are you going to sleep? All right. Hi. Hello, Magic. So the next book we're going to read is The Mitten. Thank you, Stephen. That's awful nice of you. We appreciate the offer. All All right, so this is called The Mitten, a Ukrainian folk tale, adapted and illustrated by Jan Bratt. I wonder if this is one of my wife's old books too. I don't know. So this is based on the Ukrainian. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. And the book is actually very it's very detailed. Oh, there goes the Rachel. At first, his grandmother, Baba, did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Baba made them. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound. But then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. Oh, thank you, Rose. So off Nicky went. And it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size. So he decided to stay. Woo!
Oh, geez. Is that Raza?
There's Raza, yeah.
Honey, are you okay? I bet that scared you.
A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by, and she dropped hard. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. Well, I'll tell you, this glove has a lot of room. Hold on, Jackie. Raza just took a tumble from up there, so yes,
They're down.
yeah.
Okay, I'll find her.
All right.
Hey,
Do you know which direction she went?
up,
Hmm?
up.
She went back up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what I
All right.
There.
Oh, that's her.
Isn't that the truth, Vanessa? All right, so next page. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb.
Put 'em up there. Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Somebody's yakking. Somebody's yakking. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged to many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. I definitely have not read this one before because this is a yeah. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten silhouetted against the blue sky.
Now she's puking up there. She was a minute ago. Kind of all along that green board.
As he ran to catch his snow white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. And there's Baba at the end. Again, this book is based on a Ukrainian story, a Ukrainian folk tale.
I'll be back in a few hours.
All right, next book is called Feathers and Foals. And I don't think I've read this one because I don't remember this at all. Oh, this is another old book because it has my wife's maiden name in here. So we know this is at least 20-something years old. Copyright 1989, illustrations 1996. In a rambling garden long ago and far away, there lived a pride of magnificent peacocks. Probably here at FFRC with the peacocks that are here. Did you guys ever hear the story about Gallant and the peacocks? Gallant was not a fan of the peacocks when he was here at FFRC. He would get very startled because they are loud. And one time he was startled. I don't know if he scratched somebody or bit somebody, but it was all because of a peacock. Peacock, as loud as they are. Nearby in the rushes and reeds of the clear blue lake dwelt a flock of elegant swans. One day, a peacock, musing on the mysteries of life, said, "How strange that swans should swim. It is fortunate indeed that we do not, for we would surely drown." The other peacocks pecked and strutted, contemplating the meaning of this profound observation. Again, the first peacock spoke. "How strange that swans should fly. It is happy indeed that we do not, for we should surely look ridiculous." I'll be right back. Are you okay, girlie?
Oh, no.
Are you okay? Are you okay, Raza? Raza? Roshi? Zelda. Hi, Zelda. Hello, Coralie. See, I get distracted easily with the cats. All right. Just checking. Again, the first peacock stretched. "How strange that swans should fly. It is happy indeed that we do not, for we should surely look ridiculous." The other peacocks pecked and strutted again, contemplating the meaning of this second observation. Hi. Again, the first peacock broke the silence. "I fear the swans," he said. "They have great strength. If they wished, they could turn us out of our gardens, or make us fly, or force us to swim." Here and there, peacock feathers rustled uneasily. "Alas," cried one, "no home, no happiness, no life." There followed anxious mutterings and the making of plans. You know, I didn't show you the picture. Picture's kind of like a Picasso-like pictures here. They're not your normal pictures in a children's book. And so it came to pass that the peacocks gathered a great quantity of feathers, which they sharpened into arrows and concealed in the shadows of their gardens. "Now we can defend ourselves against the swans," said the first and most foolish peacock, raising his voice that the swans might hear. "We shall hurl these arrows at their throats and slaughter every one should they ever try to change our way of life." The swans, in fear, heard these fighting words and sharpened feathers of their own in even greater numbers and concealed them cleverly among the rushes and reeds. Both sides, for safety's sake, continued to add to their weapons, but in dismay, each discovered that the more arrows they acquired, the more terrified they became. At night, in the gardens and on the lake, no bird slept. Every sound made their hearts race. Every moment made them tremble. I feel an allegory to this story. One day, a swan flew high over the peacocks, bearing in her beak a reed for nest making. Hello, Stacy. The peacocks, in a panic, mistook it for an arrow, and gathering their forces, bore swiftly down the lake. But the swans, seeing them coming, made ready. Soon cries filled the air and blood darkened the earth. A cloud of feathers rose into the sky and haunted the sun. Yes, the artwork is really, really good. And, you know, when reading this, you kind of think back to 1963. Of all the birds, not one remained alive. Silence hung over the gardens and over the lake. Then, in the shadows of the gardens, an egg hatched, and a small bird staggered out into the blood-stained stillness. Among the reeds beside the lake, a second egg hatched, and another small bird teetered out into their ruins. They stumbled towards each other, alive with curiosity and trust. "You're just like me," said the first. "You have feathers and 2 legs." "You're just like me," said the second. "You have a head and 2 eyes." Hello, Adam. Greetings. Where is Crofton, Maryland? Is that on the east side or is it on the west side of Maryland? Like, is it far from Baltimore? "Shall we be friends?" asked the first. "Most certainly," replied the second. So off they went together, in peace and unafraid, to face the day and share the world. And that's the end of the story, but boy, that's a pretty good book. Wow. So that's the 3rd book. I will be right back. I just want to check on a couple things, and I will be right back. I hear you. Rosa? Rosa? How you doing, girl? How you doing? How you doing? You had a pretty nasty fall there. It's like an 8 foot, right on the concrete. How you doing? Are you feeling all right? I was a little worried about you. Look okay. Yeah, I was just a little worried about you. Just making sure you're okay. She looks okay. Yeah, true. Hey, you. Hey, I see you. Oh, you got the big eyes. Somebody is trilling up a storm. Hi. All right. 3rd book, yes. Well, the other books were pretty small. So, let me think I started this book before, but I think it was a little dry. All right, well, you know what? I'll do this one last, but I think we're going to do the poems. This is Something Big Has Been Here. Also, again, this is my wife's, and it's all because it's her maiden name on here. So that means the book is at least 20-something years old. All right, something big has been here. Something big has been here. What it was, I do not know. For I did not see it coming, and I did not see it go. But I hope I never meet it. If I do, I'm in a fix. For it left behind its footprints, they are size 956. Next one is An Early Worm Got Out of Bed. An early worm got out of bed and muttered, I feel mean. I'll put my darkest glasses on. I'll paint myself bright green. I'll dress up in my wildest wig, the one with purple bangs. I'll also wear a pair of horns and artificial fangs. The early worm poked up its head, which seemed a perfect fright. An early bird observed that worm and lost its appetite. Next one is called I Know All the Sounds That the Animals Make. I know all the sounds the animals make, and make them all day from the moment I wake. I roar like a mouse and I purr like a moose. I hoot like a duck and I moo like a goose. Does a goose moo? I don't know. I squeak like a cat and I quack like a frog. I oink like a bear and I honk like a hog. I get it now. I get it. I croak like a cow and I bark like a bee. No wonder the animals marvel at me. Spiker. Spiker. Next is called Happy Birthday, Mother Dearest. Happy birthday, Mother Dearest. We made breakfast just for you. A watermelon omelet and a dish of popcorn, too. A cup of milk and sugar and a slice of blackened toast. Happy birthday, Mother Dearest. You're the one we love the most. Next is called We Are Four Ferocious Tigers. Oh, where do you see Derecho? I don't. Oh, there he is. Okay. We're four ferocious tigers. At least that's what we seem. Our claws are at the ready. Our sharp incisors gleam. We're quite intimidating. Our stare will make you blink. Our roar will make you shiver. At least that's what we think. We're four ferocious tigers. At least that's what we hear. Our ominous demeanor will chill your atmosphere. And yet you need not fear us. Don't scream and run away. We only eat spaghetti. At least that's what we say. Next is called I Am Growing a Glorious Garden. I am growing a glorious garden, repleasant with trumpets and flutes. I am pruning euphedrine bushes and wearing piccolo shoots. My tubas and tambourines flourish, surrounded by saxophone seeds. I am planting trombones and pianos and sowing sweet salsaphone seeds. This is an old book. I have cymbals galore in my garden, stad, oboes, and orderly rows. There are flowering fifes and violas in the glade where the glockenspiel grows. There are gongs and guitars in abundance. There are violins high on the vine, and an arbor of harps by the bower where the cellos and clarinets twine. My bassons are beginning to blossom as my zithers and mandolins bloom. My castanets happily chatter. My kettle drums merrily boom. The banjos that branch by the bugles play counterpoint with a kazoo. Come visit my glorious garden and hear it play music for you. Next one is called As Soon as Fred Gets Out of Bed. As soon as Fred gets out of bed, his underwear goes on his head. His mother laughs, don't put it there. A head's no place for underwear. But near his ears, above his brains, is where Fred's underwear remains. At night when Fred goes back to bed, he deftly plucks it off his head. His mother switches off the light and softly croons, good night, good night. And then, for reasons no one knows, Fred's underwear goes on his toes. Next one is called Belinda Blue. Belinda Blue is furious. She fumed, I'm really mad. This is the worst experience that I have ever had. She beat her fist against the wall. She pounded on the floor. I am livid, she exploded. I am bilious to the core. She wrung her hands. She tore her hair. Her tantrum grew and grew. I am angry, 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 shrieked enraged Belinda Blue. She seemed to be beside herself. She raced around the room. She roared so loud that the neighbors thought they'd heard a sonic boom. Her rage was unabated. It appeared she never quit. In fact, she seemed to savor every second of her fit. Belinda Blue created such an overwhelming scene because her lunch, her mother said, please eat just one green bean. Next is called The Turkey Shot Out of the Oven. The turkey shot out of the oven and rocketed into the air. It knocked every plate off the table and partly demolished a chair. It ricocheted into a corner and burst with a deafening boom that splattered all over the kitchen, completely obscuring the room. It stuck to the walls and the windows. It totally coated the floor. There was a turkey attached to the ceiling where there had never been a turkey before. It blanketed every appliance. It smeared every saucer and bowl. There wasn't a way I could stop it. That turkey was out of control. I scraped and I scrubbed with displeasure and thought with chagrin as I mopped that I'd never again stuff a turkey with popcorn that hadn't been popped. Next is called I Am Wunk. Wunk. I am Wunk, a wacky wizard, and I wield a willow wand. I wave it once, and there you swim, a minnow in a pond. I wave it twice, and there you sit, a lizard on a log. I wave it thrice, and there you fly, a fly before a frog. I am Wonk, a wily wizard, and I hold a crystal sphere. I spin it with my fingers. You've got a carrot in your ear. I roll it on the table. You've an anvil on your head. I place it on your pillow. You're a lion in your bed. I am Wonk, a wondrous wizard, and I wear a woolen hat. I take it off and fold it. You are smaller than a cat. I put it in my pocket. You are smaller than a mouse. Do be quick, your doorbell's ringing. I am Wonk, outside your house. Let me take a little sip here. Next two poems are very small. Dense and Dumb. Dense and dumb with pomp and flair, planted light bulbs in his hair. Now, however dark the night, dense and dumb is always bright. Next is called You're Eating Like a Pig Again, or it's probably my life story, but it's different. You're eating like a pig again, my mother scolded me. If you keep eating like a pig is what you'll be. I simply can't fathom what the fuss is all about. And haven't I a lovely tail, and see my splendid snout? So that was that story. Next one is called I Am Tired of Being Little. I am tired of being little. I am sick of being thin. I wish I were giant size with whiskers on my chin. No one would dare to tease me or to take away my toys, for I would be much bigger than the biggest, bigger boys. My folks would pay attention to everything I said. They couldn't make me eat my peas or tell me go to bed. I'd never be afraid again if I were 10'3". I wish that I were giant size instead of small like me. Next is called You're Nasty and You're Loud. You're nasty and you're loud. You're mean enough for two. If I could be a cloud, I'd rain all day on you. That's it for that one. Next one is called They Tell Me I'm Peculiar. They tell me I'm peculiar. They seem to think I'm odd. They look at me and grimace. I smile at them and nod. They cringe at my behavior. Unthinkable, they say. They're shocked that I love liver and eat it every day. Huh. I don't know if my mother's on, but I was fortunate that growing up, both my mother and my father hated liver. So other than liverwurst, I have never had liver in my life. And I haven't had liverwurst in probably 50 years. When I was a young kid, I used to like liverwurst, but then I got tired of it. So I've never eaten it since. All right, next one is called I Should Have Stayed in Bed Today. I should have stayed in bed today. In bed's where I belong. As soon as I got up today, things started going wrong. I got a splinter in my foot. My puppy made me fall. I squirted toothpaste in my ear. I crashed into the wall. I knocked my homework off the desk. It landed on my toes. I spilled a glass of chocolate milk. It's soaking through my clothes. I accidentally bit my tongue. That really made me moan. And it was far from funny when I banged my funny bone. Hello, Ed Power. How are you? I scraped my knees. I bumped my nose. I sat upon a pin. I leapt up with alacrity and sharply barked my shin. I stuck a finger in my eye. The pain is quite severe. I better get right back to bed and stay there for a year. Do you hear this one? Just been chirping the whole time. I don't even know who it is. Who's making all that noise? Is that you? Is that you? Who's making all that noise?
Oh gosh, Jenny, I'm sorry I forgot. Just a minute, I'll get to the tree, okay?
Who's making all that noise? Huh?
You don't forget, do ya?
Who's making all that? Oh, you come down?
Come on.
Come
Come on.
here. We interrupt this program to bring you a special kitty.
Here.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Here's another one that I forgot, okay?
Here. This is... No, Heather, Spring is the mother, the mama. So, yeah, this is, Hyatt or Hudson. I'm trying to find... Oh, you leave me? This is, white and gray. I think Hudson. Is this Hudson? It says white and gray. I'm trying to see. The other one's not white and gray. It's a brown. No, two white and gray. Okay. Hyatt and Hudson. Yes, the derecho gang. There's somebody up here. Hi. Are you sleeping up there? Huh? I hope you know the speed limit is 25. Did you make sure you're aware of the speed signs?
Sorry, behind you.
That's all right. So you need to make sure that you're looking at the...
I looked you away, didn't I? I'm sorry.
All right.
Here.
Hudson has CDOT. Uh-oh. I hope Hudson
Here
doesn't
you go.
do anything bad to CDOT. No, I'm just... Says Hudson has a dot. Has
Okay.
dot. So I'm trying to make a... All right. Hi, Jim. How are you? All right. Let's get back to the poems. Kevin, the king of the jungle.
Night, everybody.
Good night. I'm Kevin, the king of the jungle. I live at the top of the tree. Although I behave like a monkey, no lion is braver than me.
Sorry.
I swing through the air with abandon, laugh at a simian laugh. I'm strong as my uncle gorilla. I'm swift as my cousin giraffe. I wrestle with dozens of gibbons. I win, but they don't seem to mind. I race with gazelles and impalas and frequently leave them
What you looking
behind.
for? Huh?
Oh, look at that. That's just amazing.
Kitty, 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 baby.
You know, you can't see it, but Alma, you know, she's just full of determination. You know, she's going over and eating. You know that, you know, she really can't walk too much, but there she is. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing.
She gets to where she needs to.
Yes.
Come on, kitty, kitty, kitty.
So I wrestle with dozens of gibbons. I win, but they don't see the mind. I race with gazelles and impalas, and frequently leave them behind. Hyenas and rhinos obey me. Great elephants do what I say. And when I jump into the river, fierce crocodiles hurry away. I'm Kevin, the king of the jungle. I'm agile, I'm crafty, I'm bold. Green leaves are my only apparel, and yet I have never caught cold. My stepmother was a chimpanzee. My stepfather was a baboon. And that's why I eat with my fingers instead of a fork or a spoon. If I see hippo look hungry, I share a few edible roots. When zebras or ostriches quarrel, I settle their family disputes. I'm Kevin, the king of the jungle, the lord and leopard and new. Feel free to drop by my dominion. I'll peel a banana for you. Yeah, this is a cool book. Hello, Ms. M. How are you? Glad to be here. Yes, M. Power, this is a cute little book, and this is an old, you know, this book is so old, it has my wife's maiden name in it. So that's how I know this has got to be at least 20-something years old.
Okay.
All right. Next one is called Little Bird Outside My Window. It's only 2 paragraphs. Little bird outside my window, I can hear you in my room as you gaily serenade me and eradicate the gloom. Your chirping is the sweetest that my ears have ever heard. It awakens me each morning. Zip your beak up, little bird. My cats love greenies and squeeze-ups. Let me tell you about those squeeze-ups. Whenever I get them out, the first one that's usually at me is Gallant. He loves them. But then the rest of them start coming. And Gallant has to assert his dominance. You know, and then the problem is Guinness. Guinness, who is the sweetest boy you ever meet, but he doesn't have a mean bone in his body. And he's not assertive. So when they all come, he kind of gives up. So I kind of have to give him those little squeeze-ups separately because he won't, you know, he's not, you know, he's a lover, not a fighter. You know, he won't compete. And anybody who's seen Gallant's Facebook page, I posted a picture of Guinness in the pineapple bed, and it looks like he's melting out of it. All right, next is called Unhappy Southpaw Penguin. Unhappy Southpaw Penguin, you're in such a nasty mood as you try to chew your dinner, which refuses to be chewed. But a simple undertaking will improve your attitude. You must first defrost your dinner, for your dinner's frozen food. Look, there's the two derecho. Yes, Tina. Guinness is like the sweetest boy you will ever meet. He is like the nicest boy. But like I said, he's not a, you know, he's not assertive. He doesn't really like new people. He gets, you know, and he's one of those cats where when he's nervous, he paces. And he'll pace all around the house. And, you know, it takes him a little bit to get used to new people. Gallant's doing good. Gallant's doing very good. Yeah, Maddie, May, Perlissa, and Joy, yeah. Gallant is, I guarantee you when I get home, you know, he'll be right there meowing at me. Gallant's got some separation anxiety issues. So, you know, I tried my best to, you know, let him in and, you know, but he really wants to be around me all the time. So nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. So, but when I wake up in the morning, I would usually have a welcome committee with either all 5 cats or 4 of the 5 cats will jump on me. And our oldest cat just turned 15. That's Smudge. So she's showing her age a bit, but she's 15. She still eats really well. We used to call her Sir, Madam Pukes a lot because she vomits all the time. So she eats too fast. I try to move all the food in her plate so that it takes her a little bit to eat. So yeah, it's crazy because as soon as when I rise out of bed, like I sit on the bedside, here they come. They all come up. Hi. Hey there. Hi there. Look, your fans want to see you. All right, let's go for another. The 15-year-old's name. Well, her proper name is Calypso, but I never call her Calypso. We call her Smudge. She doesn't she recognizes Smudge. If you look at her nose, the side of her nose looks like it has a smudge that looks like the shape of a cat. It's really funny. One of these days I'll take a picture of it and show it. But she's also very afraid. Doesn't like people. She's also very territorial. But I think she's happy. Every time I open up a can, she's there meowing. What the problem with Smudge is that she does this to my head in the morning. She bops me. She tries to take her nails and, pain. She's a pain. All right. Wilson Watts. Wilson Watts atop his head balanced 40 loaves of bread. 40 loaves, no less, no more. Not one crumb fell to the floor. On his shoulders, Wilson Watts balanced 40 flower pots. 40 pots, no more, no less. Yet he met with great success. Watson balanced on his knees 40 chunks of cheddar cheese. 40 chunks, no less, no more, just like loaves and pots before. Watson Watts upon his legs balanced 40 ostrich eggs. 40 eggs, no more, no less. It took months to clean up the mess. Do you notice in all of these poems, there's usually a twist at the end? It's kind of cute. And there's a lot of these, and I'm not going to get through all of these, but I'll read a couple more, and then we'll call it a night. Hello, how are you? I am fine. That's what this next one is called. Hello, how are you? I am fine, is all my dog will say. He's probably repeated it 1,000 times today. Oh, do you have this book? Oh, okay. He doesn't bark his normal bark. He doesn't even whine. He only drones the same, hello, how are you? I am fine. Hello, how are you? I am fine. His message doesn't change. It's gotten quite monotonous and just a trifle strange. Hello, how are you? I am fine. It makes the neighbors stare. They're unaware that yesterday he ate my talking bear. See the little twist at the end? All right. The next one is called Life's Not Been the Same in My Family. Life's not been the same in my family since the day the new baby came. My parents completely ignore me. They scarcely remember my name. The baby gets all the attention. Oh, isn't she precious, they croon. They think that she looks like an angel. I think she resembles a prune. They're thrilled when she giggles or gurgles. She burped, they exclaim with delight. They don't mind when she wakes us with deafening screams in the night. They seem to believe she's a treasure. There's simply no way I agree. I wish she'd stop being a baby and start being older than me. All right, I think I'm going to read like 2 more and then I'm going to get going. I am a little tired today. A little tired. Got a long day. I have a 5 o'clock meeting tomorrow, 5 o'clock p.m. meeting. And people are going to be very mad that I called a 5 o'clock meeting. But, got to get an issue resolved. I met a rat of a culture. I met her. Hi. Oh, now you decide to come over and check out my shoes. Now you come over. Hi, Ms. M. Barbara from the cat rescue, I think, is okay. I actually saw my sister-in-law, Barbara, at the memorial Labor Day weekend. And, you know, she's doing as good as can be expected, I guess. I mean, she's, you know, dementia is a tough thing. And I know it's a lot on her son. So I talked with her son quite a bit at the memorial. And her son just moved to Buffalo. So he's going to see if he could get her into a home or something up near where he lives now. But she's not walking real well, and she just, you know, I hate to see it. And I know if Bonnie saw it, she'd be pretty upset. But she did make it to the memorial, which is good. All right, I met a rat of culture. I met a rat of culture who was elegantly dressed in a pair of velvet trousers and a silver button vest. He related ancient proverbs and recited poetry. He spoke 12 languages, 11 more than me. Yes, I appreciate that. The rat was perspicacious and had cogent things to say on bionics, economics, hydroponics, and ballet. He instructed me in sculpture. He shed light on keeping bees, and then he painted an acrylic of an abstract view of cheese. He had circled the equator. He had visited the poles. Oh, thank you, thank you. He extolled the art of sailing while he baked assorted rolls. He wove a woolen carpet and he shaped a porcelain pot. Then he sang an operetta while he danced a slow gavotte. He was versed in jet propulsion, an authority on trains. All of botany and baseball were contained within his brains. He knew chemistry and physics. He had taught himself to sew. To my knowledge, there was nothing that the rodent did not know. He was vastly more accomplished than the billions of his kin. He performed a brief sonata on a tiny violin. But he squealed and promptly vanished at the entrance of a cat. For despite his erudition, he was nothing but a rat. Oh, there it goes, a little twist at the end. All right, I'm going to read 2 more, and then I'm going to call it a night. Next one is called Do Not Disturb the Woolly Werble. Woolly Werb. Do not disturb the woolly werb that scarcely seems to stir, but sits upon the corner curb and combs its curly fur. Thank you. There's nowhere that it cares to go. It calmly stays in place and grooves itself from head to toe, contentment on its face. To park upon that paving stone is all it wants to do, and if you leave the wub alone, it will not bother you. And the last one for today is called My Neighbor's Dog is Purple. Interesting. I'm only on page 41, and there's at least 150 in here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll, you know, for the next few story times, I'll probably end with this and read some of the other stories. All right. So the final one for tonight is called My neighbor's dog is purple. My neighbor's dog is purple. Its eyes are large and green. Its tail is almost endless, the longest I've ever seen. My neighbor's dog is quiet. It does not bark one bit. But when my neighbor's dog is near, I feel afraid of it. My neighbor's dog looks nasty. It has a wicked smile. Before my neighbor painted it, it was a crocodile. So, that's kind of a funny little thing. So, I appreciate that. Thank you for all the nice comments. So, I think that's going to be it for the day. I am going to get going, and I guess all the kittens are out for the night now because they're everywhere. So, we will be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Thank you, Cat B. So everybody have a great night, and I will see you next week. Thank you, Danielle. I only live 4 miles away, so. All right, guys. Oh, it's Rock'em Sock'em time. 8.